This episode of the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible. Visit audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download.
I'm Kevin Thompson. I'm Chubray from Return of the Jedi. You're listening to the Nerf Herder Council.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking Nerf herder.
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate, featuring your hosts, JT. This episode of the podcast is turning into a goddamn episode of Nova. AJ.
Yeah, Rebels is a lot like our show, where we think we have a good idea and then it just fails in execution.
Steve.
The vacuum of space does crazy things to your beehole out there, man.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, because we're always so current with current events, we give our breakdown of the new trailer for the Rise of Skywalker.
This is the Nerf Herder Council.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT. With me are AJ and Steve. As always, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And if you would like to get some customized Nerf Herder Council swag, you can visit shop.nerfherdercouncil.com and get some kick-ass stuff there. And you can promote the fact that you just might be listener 23. So it's
They actually can. There's a shirt for that.
Yeah. There's
And if you buy it, then we have to make a new one that says 24.
yeah.
It's a custom. As soon as we sell one, we'll change the design.
We're just going to sell it with a blank thing on there and just send you Post-it notes. We're going to keep ripping a
Make
number
your own. Yeah. So, since our last episode, we've had a few things happen. Namely, the episode 9 trailer. And originally, we hadn't really planned on doing a breakdown of that or our thoughts on it, because we've done a lot of that stuff lately, and also every other show did it and did it better than we will. So we decided not to. But I actually had a lot of requests for us to do that. So we figured, what the hell? We'll go for it. So we'll talk about that. The Mandalorian, another trailer came out for that. And the cool thing about that is that after this episode, our following episode is going to be a review of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, because we record the night after our next recording night is November 13th. So we will all have gotten to watch the first episode of The Mandalorian. Steve, I'm looking at you right friggin' now. All of us will have watched the first episode of The Mandalorian. Won't we have?
No, because Disney Plus is going to crash on day one.
I don't even
get to see it.
Well, then I'll have to call in sick to work or go in, call off early Wednesday.
Mean, that's the plan, but I really feel like for whatever reason, I'm just like, this thing's not going to launch the way that everybody thinks it's going to on day one.
Well, all I know is
I hope I'm wrong.
Like I said in my text, I'm watching it, and I don't care if you two have. I'm spoiling everything. I'm going to talk about it, and if you haven't seen it, you're just going to have to be mad at me.
Just keep it quiet during. Like, give me like a 24-hour period.
Well, I'm not going to say
Don't just
anything.
like wake up at like 12:01 a.m. Be like, is it live? 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 Oh my God, I got a text about this.
No, that'll be after the Browns game on November 14th when I get home, and it'll be past midnight, so I'll get the second episode, which comes out November 15th.
Yeah.
That'll be while I'm waiting for Fallen Order to download.
They did. There you go. There's our additional YouTube content. Just turn a camera on you as you watch the show. You can do a live react.
It's just me sitting there looking at the screen.
That's exactly what those are. Have you never watched one?
Well, yeah, I have.
It's just sitting there picking his belly button the whole time.
Yeah, I'm just eating Cheetos or something.
That happens too. Yeah. I don't know why people watch them, but hey, no judgment here.
To each their own, man. I mean,
now they did say that episode 1's supposed to have a major Star Wars spoiler.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah, I told AJ that yesterday.
And it had me think, where is the timeline again?
It's what, 8 years after Return of the Jedi or something like that.
Something close to that. Yeah,
it's like after the Empire, but before the First Order.
Because
we can actually get into that question with the trailer breakdown though, because I got some questions there.
Because I'm just like, what kind of spoiler though? I'm like, they're not stupid enough to give something away for the sequel trilogy, knowing that movie comes out in a month. I'm like, so it's got to be something that is based
retconning the
of,
past.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
they give away Rey's parentage.
Yeah, something. I'm like, what kind of spoiler? It's got to be something towards the original trilogy that people have just questioned for 30 years. You can't really give away plot points for a movie that comes out a month from now. That'd be really stupid, wouldn't it?
Huh? Maybe it's their way of getting it out there without having to put it in the movie.
Right. Maybe they actually are setting something up for episode 9 with this.
Maybe.
That could
or it's
be
a huge troll job and they're just giving away spoilers for Resistance season 2.
The ultimate come on moment.
Look, it's
First
clear that
episode
Disney
of The Mandalorian, he just kills whatever his name is, the kid from the new series.
Kaz.
Yeah, have fun with him now, guys.
Dude, they might as well. Disney doesn't even care about that series. I had the Disney Go app on my phone strictly for the point of watching that show, and they only released the first episode of season 2 on there. There are 4 episodes out now, and only the first one made it to their own streaming app.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that app
they're
sucks.
sitting on it for Plus. I mean,
I don't know why they would.
I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt, but maybe.
Well, I kind of hope
don't
so,
know.
because I paid my $70 for the year, so I want that content.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but I get the Verizon free year, so I'm waiting for my message. One of my buddies got his message that said, "Hey, you're good. You don't have to pay." I did not, so I'm a little annoyed right now. But so before we get to the episode 9 trailer, we did have actually a pretty big piece of news, which Steve will have some insight on for us because you are a Game of Thrones fan, and AJ and I were not.
I did actually catch up on it, though.
Okay.
So I'm aware of it.
Okay. Well, I'm aware of the show too, but that doesn't mean I ever watched it. But so Benioff and Weiss, I know it's David Benioff, and I don't know what the hell the other guy's first name is. I don't care. But anyhow, they were supposed to do a trilogy, and their movie was supposed to come out 2022. So theirs was already supposed to
in the pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were the first thing coming out after the first theatrical release after Rise of Skywalker, and they bailed. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they said, well, yeah, we can't focus on Netflix and Star Wars. And so, and personally, I was happy about that because almost all of my friends that are Game of Thrones fans were saying that the latest season was crap and that all the other seasons they didn't actually write. They just took the stuff from George R.R. Martin.
Yes.
And just put it to screen. And then when they actually had to write, it turned out like garbage.
Yeah, they got ahead of the books by the final season.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got ahead of the books, and then with the writer's strike from like 2 or 3 years ago that put Game of Thrones on that hiatus for a while, when it came back, HBO decided to give them half the amount of shows to knock out the final season. So even if the writing was good, you lost a lot of the details because they went, hey, take 16 episodes worth of stuff that you guys worked on, narrow it down to 8 and get it turned in so we can put this stuff on TV.
Yeah, there were some sudden turns with very little explanation.
So they had to hit.
It was like watching modern WWE.
Yeah, they had to hit all their major points, but you would watch an episode and go, okay, I understand where that ending came from, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff in there that I missed. And then you go, okay, because, well, I'm backtracking a little bit. They got half the episodes, but they were supposed to, the rumor was they were going to have longer episodes. Like the whole last season was going to be like 8 mini movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the season starts and it's still 50 minutes, except the last episode, which I think was, I don't know, 90 or 100 minutes or something like that. So even that, people are like, oh, well, if it's half the episodes but double the time, it's the same length of the season, right? Well, they didn't get that either. So it's just the whole thing went to crap because their writing, HBO being a twat, the writers strike and them doing their thing. Like, you add all of it together and you get a garbage season, and it's kind of a shame because the show was really good up to that point too. Now it's only going to be remembered for the trash can last season that it came out with.
So do you think this is a good thing that those guys are out of Star Wars?
Probably. Like you said, that was their only season that they wrote, and because of how bad it was, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So I mean, I don't know, maybe they are good writers and they would have been good with Star Wars, but track record, you can only take somebody at their word, I guess. And so from what we know about them, they sucked. So it's probably not a bad thing.
It kind of reminded me of the dudes that did the Lego movie when they were originally doing Solo. I'm like, how do you go from the Lego movie to Star Wars? And it seemed like an odd choice.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like, it kind of just seemed like, and seems like that with like they did it with this too. They picked a property that was like family friendly for Solo. The Lego movie was huge. So they're like, oh, let's get those guys. And then Game of Thrones was all, excuse me, was all huge and everything. And they're like, oh, let's get those guys. Got to be because of them. So, I mean, I don't know.
I can't really cast judgment on it until I find out what the movie timeline is going to be now. If they're still trying to hit a 2022 release date and they don't even have anything in pre-production right now because they already had one that just fell apart, that's trouble. Then you get a Solo case where they have to fast track something, much like the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And God knows what's going to come out. I mean, especially because they don't even have anything started. Like, it's a completely new direction, a new trilogy or whatever it's going to be. So they can't just like crank out another Skywalker movie and keep going with Rey and Finn and Poe.
Yeah, so that's honestly the last thing we need is just, like you said, this whole new unexplored area of Star Wars, and we just get garbage right off the bat. That's the last damn thing we need.
Looks like it's time for Solo 2 to become a reality.
Hey, there we go. Let's revive the hashtag. Make Solo 2 happen.
Oh man, I love it. That thing got so much attention. I'm all for it.
That would make a ton of friggin' sense, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's already something they could whip out a story on quickly because, as we said, you could bring in Boba Fett and, Darth Maul and Jabba the Hutt and all that crap and, solve the problem real fast.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not like any of the main characters in that movie are going out and getting their doors beaten down by anything else. So you're not gonna you're not gonna have a tough time getting the cast back.
And Rian Johnson's already said he's like hard at work on some other trilogy of something, right?
Yeah, he had a trilogy as well.
No, not of Star Wars, but he's got another thing going. It's like a long-term project where he wasn't going to be getting back to Star Wars till like 2025, 2026 or something.
Well,
it was far out. Yeah. Well, apparently they were banking on the Benioff stuff. So Wiseman Benioff. So yeah, they better figure out what the heck they're going to do next. I mean, they got all these television things in production. Maybe they can step up something from their TV slate into a movie instead. I mean, Obi-Wan's agreed to, but they're not going to start anything on that for a year or two. So maybe they can.
They've known about that for 4 years. Did you see that?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
So they've already got stuff in mind. Maybe they can pull some of that into a film script instead. So there's that, or I don't know. Well, I don't want to see the Cassian series made into a movie. I like having that drawn out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, maybe the stuff with Cassian and the Mandalorian, maybe the programs will be so damn good that we kind of forget that there was supposed to be something released in 2022, and we can just bypass that year and hey, wasn't something supposed to come out this year? I don't know. The Mandalorian's awesome though. So screw it.
or they're just gonna come out and just totally retcon stuff before the Rise of Skywalker even comes out and go, yeah, the Skywalker saga's not done. They're just gonna keep writing that stuff. The further adventures of Poe and Finn and Rey. Really? Right. That's how you fix it?
How about new hashtag Plagueis 2022?
They're gonna go Legends.
Yep.
Just to appease people. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, and it's not much to talk about considering they're done. So
yeah, it was really weird. It was the Game of Thrones guys backed out of Star Wars. Later on the same day, the prequel series for Game of Thrones got canceled, and then a second prequel series for Game of Thrones got announced the same day, and it was just like, the hell are you guys all doing out there today?
Right.
So it made me think those guys were getting back into Game of Thrones, but they're like, no, we got a Brinks truck of cash from Netflix pulling up the driveway, so they don't even have anything to do with Game of Thrones. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the whole reason. They're like,
Yeah,
Whatever.
They got 250 million reasons not to care.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but so we'll see what happens. I mean, it does leave kind of a hole.
I wish they would
Kinda
stop
sucks.
announcing this crap so early on, so we wouldn't
Yeah.
have to deal with this. Like, does anybody remember Colin Trevorrow from Episode 9?
Well, how about the Boba Fett movie with Josh Trank?
Right?
He was supposed to come to Celebration, and like 2 days before, he backed out. And then they announced that he was fired a couple days after.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it's just, when something's actually starting, then let us know.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
man,
Just shut up about everything, and then like the beginning of 2022, be like, hey guys, December, we're gonna release a movie. There you go.
I don't really get what the point of this stuff is anyway. Like, hey, we signed these people on for a thing that's going to happen like 5 or 6 years from now. Is that going to sell more tickets or merchandise here in this year? Because I don't need to know about something that's 5 years off. It's not going to make me more interested in what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't care either way. I mean,
New J.J.
I think you bring-
Abrams trilogy announced for 2034. I don't care.
Steve, you're gamer enough. You understand. Like, they announced like games with just like a logo at E3 coming whenever.
Yeah, and then it's usually like a year and a half out or something like that.
Or longer.
Yeah.
They still haven't done anything about the announcement of Metroid Prime 4, and they announced that I think in 2017. So it's been over 2 years when you haven't seen anything from that. So God knows when it's even showing up. So why bother teasing people with it? There's something in the marketing machine of
it's like they had
modern
like
entertainment.
They
I
had
don't
like
know.
6 people working on like storyboard art or something, or concept art, and they go, we can really nail this in about a year, so let's go take it to E3, get everybody all hyped up, and then like within a month they just quit working on it because they realize they can't do it. They just kind of, like I said, they just don't say anything about it and hope everybody forgets.
Hey guys, we're not really trending on Twitter very well right now. What can we do? Hey, can we do it? Can you get a logo? Can you get a logo with some smoke and a number 4? Okay, good. Okay, we've got it. We've got our Twitter trend right there. Okay, thanks. Good meeting, people.
Jeez.
Hashtag 4 is coming.
Well, let's get to our main topic, since I'm sure nobody really gives a crap about the Benioff and Weiss stuff as much as they would do about Episode 9.
Well, that is the next movie coming out, so
Yes. But the new trailer hit, and it was pretty awesome. I have to admit, like, when I first saw it, I was like, okay. But then as I watched it more and more, then I was like, I got the holy crap, to me, it was just like a collection of action scenes.
Yes.
It was like a high spot type of highlight reel thing.
They're doing so good between that and the Mandalorian trailer of like showing you cool visuals and telling you nothing of what to expect.
See,
Yeah.
I really liked the episode 9 trailer because I felt like the first one that came out was, and I don't know if I can even word this properly. You know how it kept showing parts of the movie, but then it would show the text kind of reminding you that this is the end of the saga and this is the end of this. And it seemed like they were selling you a movie with the first trailer, where this one, they were trying to bring you into the fantasy world of Star Wars instead of trying to sell you on a movie, So I was like, I like that a lot better, that it didn't have what we keep referring to as the Chewie we're home moment. That was in the first. That was
we
the
had
first
the first
trailer.
one with Palpatine's laugh.
That was definitely it. So the second one didn't have one of those, but I don't think it needed it because, like I said, it was just like you said, it was just action shots, just like all these things back to back to back that you're like, holy crap, I need to see the context of everything I just saw on the damn screen right there, without actually being sold a movie.
Yeah.
So I really liked how they knocked out that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have the Chewie we're home. What they had was the grab you in the feels moment. So it was like people, you get all the action scenes, the big set pieces with tons of spaceships, and then you sucker people in with 3PO, like, taking one last look at my friends. You're like, are they gonna kill 3PO?
Friggin' droid made me cry.
I mean, and my first reaction to that, by the way, was that the scene and I don't know if I'll turn out to be correct about this, but that 3PO scene I think was reversed because we've seen the red eyes. So I'm thinking that it actually goes taking one last look at my friends, and then the little Babu Frick does whatever, his eyes turn red, and then Poe goes, "Hey, 3PO, what are you doing there?"
Oh yeah,
Because
that could work.
Just the way that he phrased it, like the way he said, 3PO, what are you doing there? Didn't sound like how you would react to someone saying something emotional like, "This is the last time I'm going to see my friends." You don't go, huh? Like, so it was a little sketchy for me.
3PO is the best character to put in a trailer because his expression doesn't change and he doesn't move his mouth. So you can put him in whatever context you want. You can splice dialogue from another scene entirely.
Yep.
Like, who knows what the hell he's saying in that scene?
Yeah.
He could be nothing for all we know.
I do know that, like, just like it was when Carrie Fisher passed, I was always okay. Princess Leia's cool, whatever. Carrie Fisher's always at Celebration. That's awesome. And then when she's finally gone and you realize you're not going to have any more of her, you kind of go, well, I did. I went, oh man, I never realized how much like I was really actually invested in her and in that character. You get bummed out. Mm-hmm. And when they did the last time looking at my friends or however they phrased it, I had that moment. I was like, but no. They can't kill 3PO. Like, I don't care if his screen time is like, 4.8 seconds in each of the last couple movies. Like, you can't off C-3PO. You can't take him out of the story. Like, so that kind of hit me. So that was...
There better be more R2 in this. R2 needs to come back and do something meaningful in this episode. Because, come on.
Well, if they're tying it up, he should be the one that gets him to get over the hump and win the whole thing, whatever it is.
R2 saves their asses one last time.
Yep. What if they killed off R2?
Nope.
I would riot.
Nope.
I'm like, if you destroy R2-D2, I mean, all these morons that are online, oh, George, they ruined my childhood, like about the movies or George Lucas or something. Now, you kill R2-D2, then you could use that statement, and it might be like,
then Disney killed my adulthood.
Well,
okay. What if the trade-off is you lose R2, but you keep the Falcon?
Well, I have to take the Falcon.
That's an impossible decision, man. Come on.
Let the droid burn, damn
it. Exactly. So, yeah, I liked. I had said previously that I loved the look of that lightsaber battle on the wreckage of the Death Star in the water. That they have more of that just looks so cool.
Then the one scene real quick kind of looked like it was Palpatine's throne room with the window all busted out and stuff.
Yeah, it was because when you see the still shot, you can see his throne from Return of the Jedi.
It flashes so quick that I recall seeing the window, but that was
you
really
have to see like the still shots. Like for example, in the shot in the White Room where they're destroying
with white curtains.
I was trying to avoid that. Thank you.
Black curtains, actually, but anyway.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, in that room where Rey and Kylo Ren are destroying that thing that is rumored to be like Vader's helmet or arm or something.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
If you blow that up and you look behind them, Chewie's bandolier and why am I forgetting what the hell is his bowcaster? His bandolier and bowcaster are on the shelf behind them. If you look real close, someone blew it up. His stuff is on the shelf.
I have not seen that. Like I've watched a bunch of breakdown videos and never heard that mentioned.
Yeah, somebody zoomed in real close.
And we know that there's something weird going on there anyway. I mean, when have you ever seen an Imperial room in white?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a dream or a vision or someplace new that stupid pedestal never existed before because we saw it sitting in Kylo's torture room or whatever.
Well, the other thing about that scene that people notice is that in Rey's other hand, she has a dagger. So there's a lot of speculation that it's the dagger of Mortis.
Could be. Hell, I would find that doubly interesting because that was asked to the guy on Star Wars Explained, and he shot that down saying it doesn't look like it. So
okay.
It would just be fun because that guy knows everything.
Yeah.
If he was actually mistaken on something, I'd be like, whoa, that's fun.
I'm not going to trust you to explain anything to me ever again. But,
Star
I don't
Wars
care if you were
maybe
right
explained.
every time until this time. You've lost your credibility.
Right.
chink in the armor. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with that weapon. I guess is that from Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty major story arc in season 3.
Okay, is that part of the Mandalorian stuff or?
No, it's a whole separate thing.
Okay, I wasn't sure. That's why I need to watch the Clone Wars. But, yeah, the thing that's strange is that there are some people that have said, and I don't know if this is true or not because it's there. Now we get the videos of the storyline is leaked, and I purposely avoided those. I started watching one yesterday, and right as they started getting into it, I went, you know what? I don't even want to hear. Because in case something comes to be correct, I don't want to be sitting in the movie theater and have something come up and go, damn it, man. And thinking about what's going to happen and then it happens and then I'll be annoyed because I want to have everything fresh.
You know what's amazing is those videos still get clicks even though those come out every time and they're never right.
I saved this one because I want to see, I'm going to watch it after I know what happens in the movie. Like after we've seen it and see how accurate this crap is.
So you can berate them on Twitter afterwards.
Man. No, it's just dumb. I've never looked at them, so I want to see how accurate they are. When it says, "Oh, this is confirmed," people that were on set, like, okay. But
I guarantee no, we talked about this before. If anything was accurate, Disney couldn't even tell them to take it down because that would just confirm it.
Yeah, exactly. But supposedly a lot of the leaks are saying that the ending of the movie is in the second trailer. And I'm thinking, how is that possible? So instantly I don't think they're credible, but that's a rumor.
Okay, come on. You really think that the scene of the Resistance fleet assembled isn't towards the end of the movie?
Well,
you really think the final of 9 movies is not going to conclude with a giant friggin' battle?
The third act is supposedly...
it's not really a spoiler.
No,
that's just the way a movie is structured, man.
Well, I mean...
Unless you're going to flip it and do like an Empire Strikes Back where you have the big battle at the beginning.
They could. I mean, I've read several things where people have said that the third act is just some absolutely enormous thing,
right? We've known that for a while.
Scale. So the one thing that bothered me about the trailer, a couple things I saw that I didn't like, and I don't know, maybe I saw this wrong, but I watched it a number of times. Are all of the when they show the scene of Ray excuse me, not Ray, like Finn and Poe and the new character Janna, like on the horse looking things are called Orbaks.
Yeah.
Are they running on a Star Destroyer?
Looks like it.
Because that's in space.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
We see a Star Destroyer rising up through what looks like ice. So I mean,
I didn't think it was ice. I thought it was coming up from the water.
It looks a little chunky.
Okay,
and plus there's
that I couldn't
really tell. It looks like it's the reflection. So yeah, I thought it was coming out of water too.
Yeah, so it's either water or ice. Either way, those things don't exist in ice exists in space. I've seen Armageddon, but
nice.
Hey, that's fact right there, man. That's fact.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so the Star Destroyers apparently existed somewhere on a planet. So it's possible that after they rise up out of the water or the ice, here come the Orbaks. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that just seemed kind of sketchy to me.
I'm just wondering what the hell a bunch of, basically horseback riders are going to do on the outside of a giant ship anyway.
They get all the way to the end and look around. They're like, man, we really didn't think this through very well.
Is this like another Ewok case where we're trying to expose how primitive organics can beat the giant technological might of,
it is J.J. Abrams. He could very well be doing that, ripping off the Return of the Jedi.
Our blasters don't work. They got wet. Well, we got spears.
And these things have hooves. We could kick them to death. Awesome. Stormtrooper armor deflects everything except Orbak hooves. It's a weird design flaw. It's kind of strange, but
who's going to attack us on Orbaks? Come on.
Who even has an Orbak? They're like a horse version of Thomas the Tank Engine. That's weird, but no, that kind of struck me as odd.
It would peeve me off because looking at that whole scene, you know my thing about how we haven't had any awesome space battles in the sequel trilogy. Steve, you can back me up on this because we did see a space battle.
Yes, we did.
And we all know how you feel about that space battle.
Only if the stupid rumors that have been going through Twitter are true about it. I'm all aboard for the space battle, but if you're gonna bring the damn guys out acting like the friggin' hero scene of Avengers Endgame, that's gonna be the worst damn decision they've ever made in their life.
I was just referring to the bombers, the
TIE
Jedi,
yeah, TIE bombers.
Oh, God, I thought you were talking about the part of the
bombers.
trailer with all the ships coming in. But yeah, resistance bombers still suck. They always
right,
will suck.
exactly. So we have yet to see. Our last awesome space battle was Rogue One. For some reason, they love putting these ships in atmosphere instead of space. They're spaceships. I want to see fighting in space.
They had stuff in the
Just remember the stupid bombers. Just moving slow as all hell, looking like friggin' Austin Powers with the with the stupid what the hell was coming at him? I know it was like the big
the road equipment.
yeah, I just don't remember what thing it
steamroller.
Was it a steamroller?
Yeah.
Man, I just remember him screaming at it while it's slowly moving. He's like 60 feet away still. No! Like, that's the resistance bombers coming. It's like, oh, they're arming the bombs. Who cares? They're going to be here in 30 minutes.
Right? So, no, I think that whole thing about the Avengers Assembled, that's just something that people, I don't think that's an actual rumor.
I hope not.
I just think that someone threw it out there, and
Ray comes in with the Falcon and Hera's in the Ghost going, on your left. Ugh.
yeah, no, that's just people saying that, and some people think it would be cool. I think those people are wrong. I think that would be really, really dumb to.
It would have been really cool
reference,
if Avengers Endgame never came out.
I mean, to reference a whole nother movie universe is just
So I
kind
say,
of.
we texted about it. I'm like, there's enough flack going around that they took episode 7 and remade episode 4. Could you imagine how bad the backlash is if anything compares to another movie or another movie franchise for that matter?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I will say that the look of that shot is kick ass. I am mad that we aren't seeing the movie for the first time in 3D. I'm pissed. I really wanted to get that, like, my face blown back by that, but I couldn't get the tickets quick enough because stupid AMC. I had a notification set up on the app to let me know exactly when the tickets went on sale. So I'm still refreshing. And as I was going through YouTube to try and find a video to watch because nothing was coming up, all of a sudden I scroll past a video that says it's John Boyega and Oscar Isaac as Poe and Finn, and they're like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know tickets for our new movie, The Rise of Skywalker, now on sale at AMC." I'm like, "What?" And I clicked on it, and all 3 of the first showings were sold. And I'm like, whoa. So I thankfully I had the window open for Cinemark too, so I got those. But again, it wasn't 3D. The very earliest show I could get was 2D, and I was like, okay, do I go later and see it in 3D like I like, or do I go earlier? And the trade-off there is I would be annoyed if I wasn't like one of the very first people to see it.
You made the right call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that was totally the right call.
So anyway, that space scene looks kick-ass, and the fleet flying towards that big ice thing. I think that's on Kajimi.
See, it actually, the background of that space as you call it, air quotes, of the Resistance fleet, it looks bluish, which is the exact color of the background of all the Star Destroyers with the Orbaks running on it and everything. I think that might be the site of this entire battle is actually on that planet. That would be okay. No, it wouldn't. I don't want a massive friggin' fleet so massive it blots out the sky in the damn atmosphere. Put them in space where they friggin' belong. Spaceships. Star Wars, not Sky Wars.
Okay, I didn't know that you had such a strong opinion on that.
They keep going to this. Isn't it cool to see them in atmosphere? Like, okay, we got Graveyard of Giants. We got the trench run on Star Killer. We got
Maz's Castle.
Yeah.
What the hell's the name of that? What's the name? I keep forgetting the name of the planet.
Oh, Takadana.
Yeah. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, episode 7 had nothing but atmospheric shots. And then, I mean, there really wasn't any battle in Last Jedi. You had the Resistance bomber scene, and then they were just getting pot-shotted, slowly traipsing across the cosmos. So that doesn't count as a fight. So we get episode 9, and we get no space battles of any kind. Because it was just a rout, really. Like, beginning of episode 8 was just a rout. It wasn't a fair fight at all. And so, come on. I want to see lots of ships with no ground. I just want people going all kind of crazy directions. And I want to see the beginning of episode 3 get kind of put to shame. It won't be, because that's always going to be fantastic.
But you had Holdo, though. So, I mean, that was in space. It was only like 17 seconds long, but you had it.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, there are the shots of the Star Destroyers, and there's some scenes where you could tell they're actually in space. So, that's...
Which ones?
Well, I think when they pan out from the Orback thing we just talked about, where they're running on it, it looks like, and again,
Well, I'd say it can't be space because, well, there's a bunch of people and animals just breathing like everything's cool.
Why do you think I said I wasn't sure about it? Because I'm like, the way that it looked to me was kind of spacey, and I'm like, don't do this.
I thought you were going to take the image of all the Star Destroyers, like the whole fleet of Star Destroyers from underneath that were like silhouetted.
Oh, that was so cool.
But again, that's kind of bluish, and it looks like that could be from underwater.
That's a really good thought. I didn't think about
when
that.
You see the one coming up out of water or ice or whatever the hell it was. So.
How big must that damn ocean be to hide a fleet of Star Destroyers, though?
Yeah. And that's interesting because the Super Star Destroyer, well, no, it's a regular Star Destroyer. The bridge, a single A-wing can take it down, and yet it can stay underwater for 30 years. Who the hell designed those things?
Right. Well, I'm learning that did you know that there are 2 different versions of Star Destroyers in the original trilogy? It's probably the real backstory is probably that the props department just wasn't consistent between movies, but the ones from episode 4 and the ones in 5 and 6 are now differentiated as a class 1 and a class 2. So there are differences in the designs, and that's why people are losing their minds right now trying to figure out, like, are these like class 1, which would put them in a certain point in the timeline, or these class 2 that were built like Empire Strikes Back and beyond, and like, where did it come from? And
well, I mean,
so maybe they sacrificed. Maybe these are original design, and those can survive an A-wing, but A-wings didn't really come to be a thing until episode 6, so it didn't matter.
True. I like where your head's at. That does make logical sense.
Do you think that they installed security
could,
cameras on the back so the Millennium Falcon couldn't hide behind the bridge anymore?
Right?
We're not getting fooled by that trick again.
See, the Star Destroyers are just like the damn Stormtrooper armor, You got Orback hooves or blaster proof, and now you got waterproof or A-wing proof.
Yeah, the Empire just can't make up their mind. They got to fix that budget. They've only got enough money to make them one-trick ponies.
It's like a damn video game where you get to like choose your power up, but you're gonna like create a vulnerability. Right. What's your tech tree gonna be?
Well, either way, I mean, we've heard the rumors for a long time that supposedly Palpatine's been amassing a fleet since he disappeared at the end of Return of the Jedi. So they have to explain how he's alive. But supposedly he's been out in wild space or some other place, like amassing a fleet, and that's how this whole thing comes about, is that's actually Palpatine's fleet that he's been putting together for 30 years to come back and just decimate everybody. So
he's been hand building them underwater for the past 30 years.
That's why he's got that big motorized chair now. He can't freaking move anymore.
Arthritis set in from hand building all these Star Destroyers.
See, that's what I was trying to do with the trailer. It's like I'm looking at certain things and then comparing them to things that we've heard are in the movie or are supposed to be in the movie and trying to extrapolate out plot points, which, I mean, we're not going to know if we're right or wrong until the movie actually comes out. But, we still haven't seen a single thing in a trailer of a Sith trooper.
Nope.
So... And then that leads to the question, okay, if Palpatine does have this fleet, why, obviously a Sith trooper you would have to assume would be for him or for Kylo Ren. So if it's for Kylo Ren, then where the hell did the Knights of Ren come in? But then again, he is kicking ass on a Knight of Ren in the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're Palpatines, why do his stormtroopers look like new stormtroopers when he's been out in, somewhere way the hell far away for 30 years?
Well, maybe he's been pulling the strings the whole time, and he kind of like fed the designs to Snoke, for example.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. I wonder how I wonder what they're going to do with Snoke. And, I don't know. I mean, there's a rumor. Some people have said, and I tried to look this up. I don't think it looked like this, but people break these trailers down like this. They said that when in the opening scene, when quote unquote Rey is running through the forest and she jumps over that chasm, that if you zoom in, it's actually Leia. But I've seen it zoomed in. It didn't look like it to me.
Man, I hope not. That'd be weird.
Well, I mean, again, we talked about it, that supposedly people are saying that the opening scene is a flashback to Luke training Leia. And if that's the case, maybe that is Leia and she's just, running around doing force crap, jumping over logs and things. So I didn't see it. I don't think that's the case. But I will find out. I thought it was cool though, because that kind of gives us more kind of an extra look at what we saw in the other trailer with, the training remote and throwing the lightsaber and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like the callback to episode 7 also.
Which one?
Well, I mean, it shows Rey in the hull of something large.
Oh, that was the Death Star wreckage. That was
right.
Obviously Death Star wreckage.
Something Imperial, yeah, but it was obviously very reminiscent of her intro to the whole series by scavenging the Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean,
so it's cool to see both.
The whole thing, it's just like it's full of these enormous shots, and I'm like, man, this looks cool. So I'm excited for the movie, and I keep getting more excited as time goes on. It's starting to get like Christmas to me, where at work things are just flying by. I'm like, man, I can't believe October's over tomorrow, and yet the Rise of Skywalker feels like it's 2 years away.
Yeah, yeah.
And every passing day, just it's not getting any closer for me. And the trailer made it worse. I keep watching. I'm so excited for this movie.
Absolutely. But what's cool though? We don't have to wait that long for new Star Wars because we have another trailer to discuss.
We do.
We kind of got on it at the beginning, but now it's time to talk about the Mandalorian trailer. Because, I tried calling you last night. I was like, dude, I know we're talking about this tomorrow on the show, but I got
we got a Trandoshan
you cut me
in
off,
there.
Man. Yep.
We got a Trandoshan in there, so that was cool.
There's a couple weird bits in there. I mean, where do you want to start? There's a lot of prequel stuff in there.
The beginning looks cool enough already with all the stormtrooper helmets stuck on the
end of a pike. Yeah.
I mean, let's start with that right there. We got stormtroopers all over this trailer. Yeah. Supposedly, the Empire has been defeated for years before this show. So, what's going on there?
Well, the remnants of the Empire are still around in pockets and cells, aren't they?
Yeah.
Isn't that per the Aftermath trilogy?
Yeah. I wish I knew. Well, we don't know the exact timeline of this show. It's probably been said, and we just missed the actual
8 years
chronology.
8 years after Return of the Jedi,
which would still put it, I think, a couple of years after the Battle of Jakku. I think the Battle of Jakku was 6 years tops. Fewer than that, actually.
Yeah, maybe it's just because they showed the door open, and there's some stormtroopers that look a little raggedy, but then there was that old guy that's in there. Maybe, like you said, it's not so much these guys are, maybe they're all freelancers now that the Empire fell or something. So this old guy's got 10 stormtroopers that are his bodyguards or something like that. Or
it looks like stuff is still Imperial occupied, at least to me.
Yeah, it's weird. And they had that Lego set, and I think there's maybe a shot of it in the trailer too. I might have missed it, but there's a Lego set that came out.
There's a Lego set in the trailer?
Right? Hey, why not? There can be a Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones. No, one of the Force Friday releases was that AT-ST Raider, where it's all junked up and it's got paint on it and rusty parts and stuff. So I don't know if that means that people have just taken over all the remaining Imperial stuff on the planet, or if the Imperials are kind of cut off on their own and they're getting kind of crazy now and desperate. Because that's been in books too, where a lot of the remnants just go crazy and kind of make up their own ideas.
Interesting. Yeah, I have no idea what this show is about. I just know that everything I've seen from it just looks so badass.
I like that one scene where he caught the guy by the ankles on the thing and then shoots the door so it closes on him. You can tell it's just going to cut him in half.
It looks like it's going to cut his head off. I hope it does. If they don't show that, I'm going to be a little bit bummed out.
Like that would be nice if they put a slight level of gore into this series. Like that would be like gore might not be the right word, but we watched episode 7 and you sat there and wondered how that one stormtrooper wiped blood on Finn's helmet, and you're like, where the hell did that even come from? But maybe if they actually started to show that a little bit, they kind of got close with Rogue One and stuff, but like if you got a little MA with
I don't think they're going to. Because here's why. Because we saw it and everyone commented on it like, that's totally going to cut his head off. And then if you notice, like in the next trailer, that shot stops when he's like halfway through the door as opposed to almost all the way.
Yeah.
So Disney was like,
you're probably just going to hear the door close. So it's implied that half of his body's gone, but you're not going to see it.
It does it. And it shows like this body like kicking and spraying everywhere, like just alien blood flying around. They get away with it because like, oh, his blood's purple. Doesn't look like real blood. It's like actual gore. So
no, they're pretty careful about that stuff. Even in Fallen Order, they're showing like if it's a sentient being, it's not going to get dismembered. But if it's a creature, sure, hack it in any direction you want. So I'm pretty sure an actual character that can scream when it dies, you're not gonna
not if you cut his head off, you can't. They're starting to kind of like not really show us much more. I mean, we got, like I said, the Trandoshan battle, and the rest of it now is just basically the shots of IG-11, like with blasters pointing both ways, and the Mandalorian just kind of walking around. But
what about all the prequel stuff, though? We did see super battle droids.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did see a droid gunship. Wasn't there a shot of like old Venator class Star Destroyers too?
I don't remember.
Or am I mixing this up with the Fallen Order trailer?
You might be. I don't know. I have to go back and actually pay
I don't
attention
remember
to the
Star
trailer.
Destroyers in that one.
But there was definitely the gunship and the battle droids.
Yeah, I saw those, and then I remember his ship. Like, that's all I really recall seeing.
Also a Clone Wars callback. Yeah, that was in season 4 of the Clone Wars.
Man, all he can do is afford junkers.
Well, it's nice to see this, though, isn't it? Like, this is one of my major questions I've always had since the prequels came out is, okay, so if everything in the original trilogy is already used and broken down, right, because it's all the Rebels could afford, right? So X-Wings are already old and so on and so forth. Shouldn't we have seen, like, new shiny X-Wings in the prequels instead of all these ships that were never seen again? Like, I'm glad they're finally reintegrating some prequel stuff and going, yeah, it does still exist in the universe. Like, you got to pull that forward at some point and acknowledge that it did exist in the past of where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with it. It's just, like I said, I don't. It's weird with those trailers because I'm so excited for the show that I'm sure that I've missed a lot in them. Because every time it comes, I'm like, okay, I got to really pay attention. And instead, I find myself going, "This is awesome!"
Right.
2.5 minutes. Like, I'm just so
Dude's
excited.
got this massive gun. He's busy tasing a Trandoshan with it, and then he's like cabled to a TIE fighter. Like, I mean, who's going to pay attention to details when you just see cool, crazy stuff like that going on?
Well, even his gun is a throwback to the first time you ever saw Boba Fett in that cartoon.
That's right. That's right.
When the holiday special, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's that huge fork-looking thing. I mean, even that is such a. I mean, for nerds like us that know what that is like, oh man, that's awesome.
You know that quick shot of the two people riding along the ridgeline on those bipedal lizard things. You know where those came from? The Ewok movies.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm not watching.
They came from the
Ewok.
I'm
not watching.
Hold on. They came from the Ewok movies, and then it gets better for you because then they got revived in canon in Rebels.
Oh, for the love of God. Really?
Yep.
What are you doing, Jon Favreau? Why just take a dump all over all my hopes and dreams for The Mandalorian?
They said they're pulling from all corners of the universe. They're not kidding, man.
Yeah, apparently the bottoms of the toilets. Ugh.
Pulling from everywhere. You got the girl with the toothpick from Deadpool. You got Apollo Creed.
Yeah, right. The Mandalorian's going to pull his helmet off. It's going to be a girl with like short curly hair. It's going to be the little girl from the Ewok movies, but all grown up.
Right.
Like that. Really? That's what we're going to do
the
now?
helmet's just a voice changer.
Next, I want a cameo from Joe Yowza.
Oh my God. That'd be awesome to throw this all like the dumbest stuff in there, like all the dumbest stuff.
Maybe this is where we get Zuvio.
Yeah, they pulled him out because they knew he was going to be all over the Mandalorian, or they could put Max Rebo in and just have him give him the voice from
Robot Chicken.
All right, man, I'm here to help out the Mandalorian, man. I'm gonna play him some music, man. I walked all the way across the desert. That would be phenomenal. Like, well, this series is a win.
Jeez.
Never miss my gig, man.
Never miss it. I gotta go watch those again. Oh, those are so.
Maybe
damn
that's
funny.
going to be on Disney Plus.
They ought to be, and they also should put detours on there.
Wouldn't that be great?
At some point, they have to come out. They're done. Why wouldn't you do it? You're past the point now where we have to have everything be deathly serious. Just put the things out.
Right.
People already take Star Wars seriously. Part of the fun is the humor.
Yeah.
Why do you think nerds like us have a show? Because it's funny. There's some funny things about Star Wars, and we like to make fun of ourselves for being nerds. Come on, man. So
are you geeked enough for The Mandalorian? You think you've seen enough now?
Oh, I've been geeked enough for The Mandalorian for months. I was excited about just the concept of it, and then as soon as I saw the leaked footage from Celebration when we were out in Chicago, I was done. I was like, I'm in. I'm all in. I am all in. To the point where I'm annoyed that it's only 8 episodes because I thought it was going to be 10. The initial thing was 10 episodes. Now it's 8. I was like, whoa. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is 6. I'm like, stop toying with me.
Yeah.
I want these to be 58 episodes apiece.
I paid for a year at Disney Plus. I want a new hour of Star Wars every week. I want 52 hours of Star Wars per year.
Yeah.
Right? I'm Founder's Circle. I got 3 years of this, man.
Steve's like 156 now. So,
I want to binge watch 3 years worth of Mandalorian on day one. Damn it!
Oh my God, that'd be so. Wonder how long? How many
Just
days?
come out looking like Robin Williams from Jumanji. What year is it?
He comes out with the big bushy beard. His clothes are all tattered. The Mandalorian was awesome. What the hell happened to you?
It's been like a week.
Exactly. Isn't 152 hours and break down to only like not even 7 days? Is my math correct?
Math. Who knows?
Well, 3 days is 72 hours. So 6 days would be 144.
Nerd.
Well, what do you want? So it's another 8. So
Really,
it'd be a third. 6 and a third days if you never stop.
That's a great note to end the show on. Let's do some math, kids.
Hope you have a piss jug next to the couch to watch The Mandalorian.
I'm going to need one to get through this recording. Come on.
I know. Well, on that note, we will close up shop. Thanks again, everyone, for checking out another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. We really appreciate it. We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. Visit shop.nerfherdercouncil.com to get your customized Nerf Herder Council swag. AJ did some kick-ass designs there that you can put on anything, any color, any type of t-shirt, hoodie, things like that. So check it out. You can find the Nerf Herder Council on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, CastBox, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can get our episodes at our website, nerfherdercouncil.com. If you'd like to email the show, it's just nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. And as always, we have our Twitter page that we are very active on, which is at NHC Podcast. So once again, I am your host, JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He's AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He's Steve.
At JSteve1005.
And we will catch you next time.
bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.